Would you look at that? It seems like we have ourselves a finished painting. So from our family to yours, keep your pants dry, your dreams wet, and remember, hugs not drugs.
Hey everybody, happy holidays. We got some new Deadpool to break down. We finally have a title for the movie, and I wanted to do a video for the villains, which look like they're going to be the pure for the X-Force movie that Fox has planned. That hasn't changed because of this big Disney buyout. I'll address that at the end of the video, but because there's so many billions of dollars involved in that, it's going to take the government more than a year and a half to approve that deal, meaning that they're just going to continue developing and doing the movies that they originally planned on doing until told otherwise. When they signed Josh Brolin to their deal at Fox, it was for 5 movies, and that includes Deadpool 2, X-Force, Deadpool 3, and then potentially 2 other sequel movies, depending on what they want to do after Deadpool 3. Those other 2 mystery movies are probably intended to be X-Force sequels, depending on how well it does, because Deadpool is killing it right now, but they haven't done an X-Force movie yet, which is basically their rated R Deadpool version of an X-Men team-up. There are a couple key moments during the trailer that reveal which comic book villain they're going with, and it's a very Messiah complex tie-in character, so it sounds like they're building towards their own version of that story arc involving Hope and Cable. But when you see Julian Dennison standing in this church on fire with all these reverse Harry Potter banners in the background talking about purity, it's probably Reverend William Stryker's Purifiers from the Messiah Complex storyline, where he's basically trying to purify the human race, get rid of all mutants. So when you see Negasonic standing in front of these very Weapon X-looking carriers in the background, those are probably trucks William Stryker's using to round up random mutants, children, adults, women, people that are too weak to fight back. So Deadpool sounds like he's going to help save mutant kind, albeit without really intending to, because even though we haven't seen a lot of Cable, he's really the person with the plan. He comes back in time wanting to save mutant kind, and Deadpool is just doing his own thing. But he's sort of an asshole with a heart of gold, so obviously it's his movie. He winds up helping out Cable, albeit after they fight a little bit with each other. The big thing we don't know here is whether or not there is actual hope in the movie from the Messiah Complex storyline. Because even though the Purifiers were big villains of that series and Cable came back to save her, there's a teddy bear on his belt, so there might be a child involved. Or they may have just cut her out and he grew up in this alternate timeline where William Stryker was successful and he's hunted mutant kind to extinction, the way you see during the Logan movie. So because there's always lots of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman jokes in the Deadpool movie, I'm expecting a couple Logan jokes because that was sort of the post-apocalyptic timeline that we saw during that movie. And William Stryker has been a villain in so many different X-Men movies, it makes sense that they would go back to that group eventually. But as I said, in this movie, it sounds like it'll be more like Reverend William Stryker, which is just a more theatrical version of the character. Like the Brian Cox version is more of a military man, this is just a much crazier version of the Stryker character. It could be someone else, but like I said, the Purifiers are led by Reverend William Stryker. Eddie Marsan looks like he's going to be the main villain, and he resembles kind of a Stryker character. So there could totally be some other actor playing that character, but he's just one of the few people on the IMDb that has no listing for who he's playing, so I think they're just trying to keep that secret. The thing that we don't know though is what is the emotional reason why Deadpool chooses to help Cable? Like, is it somebody that he cares about that ends up getting hurt? What it took in the first movie was the villains coming for Vanessa, the person that he loved. That's why he took action. So there has to be some sort of emotional reason why Deadpool wants to help Cable save mutant kind. There are a lot of you wondering who Julian Dennison is playing too. You might remember him from Hunt for the Wilder People. It was directed by the person who directed Thor Ragnarok. That was more of a comedy, so he's more of a comedic actor, which makes sense why they cast him in the movie. He might be playing the Butterball character, who's just immune to all forms of harm, so it would explain why he can stand in this burning building without being hurt. But just a reminder that this Cable poster, The Second Coming, is actually the same title as the 3rd story arc in the Messiah Complex trilogy of stories. So it kind of confirms that they're doing their version of a Messiah Complex story with a lot of Easter eggs for the first time that Deadpool and Cable crossed over in New Mutants number 98. That was also the first appearance of Domino, so there'll probably be Easter eggs for that too. But the story that they're doing is different from the story of New Mutants number 98. That was just Deadpool being hired to kill Cable, and it was very simple storyline. So speculation, maybe that's how they meet up in this movie. Like Deadpool is hired to kill someone, that someone turns out to be Cable. The person who hires him might be the villain of the movie, Reverend William Stryker. So Deadpool goes to kill him, then Cable explains why he can't kill him. I'm trying to save mutant kind, and then Deadpool might help him out. So just some speculation, but let me know in the comments if they're doing a Messiah Complex style story, but they have a lot of characters from the first appearance of Deadpool. How do you think that they're going to combine all those things in the movie if they're kind of doing their own version of it? So like they're not literally going to copy the Messiah Complex story, and they're not going to copy that first appearance of Deadpool, but you'll see a lot of Easter eggs for both of those things, and thematically it will feel a lot like Messiah Complex. But get hype and do not worry about Deadpool in the MCU. If the deal goes through in 18 months or 2 years or however long it takes to get clearance from the government, if they don't block it because of antitrust issues, then I think that Marvel will just create an R-rated label to release R-rated superhero movies, and they'll just continue on with X-Force depending on how successful Deadpool is. But the CEO of Disney confirmed that they will continue to make rated R films if this all goes through. But that's a really big asterisk if this goes through. If it doesn't, then Fox is just going to keep doing the stuff that it wanted to do before. So Deadpool should be fine either way, no worries. And just a reminder that FX is doing an R-rated Deadpool animated series that's going to premiere during 2018. They haven't said when it's going to debut. It's going to be on FXX. But because they announced the deal early last year, I'm guessing that it'll take about 1.5 years for them to get the animation out, just because that always takes a long time. Season 1 is supposed to be 10 episodes, and I'm optimistic that they're able to start dropping episodes sometime during the summer next year. But I'll post an update when we find out more about that animated series. But just a reminder that it's supposed to be adult animation, so it'll be more like Rick and Morty, so no worries, they're not going to water Deadpool down. But if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's going to be a whole bunch more Deadpool footage dropping earlier in the year. Obviously, we got Infinity War and Black Panther stuff dropping too. So like the entire first half of next year is going to be a huge time for Marvel movies, both Fox Marvel and Marvel Marvel. I was going to talk a little bit about new Wolverine because Hugh Jackman confirmed that he's not coming back, but this video went a little long, so I'll just do that in another Deadpool video. While you wait for everything, click here to rewatch the full Deadpool 2 trailer, and click here for my new Infinity War Avengers 4 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.